Winter's arrived on campus, which means that the cold and flu are not far away. Coming up, I'll show you what I found on common surfaces that could be making you sick.
There's some new developments happening here on campus.
You got a second? Somebody wants to.
Breaking news, here's you. Coming up next on Newsbreak.
Good evening, I'm Erin Barton.
And I'm Lorna Balfour, and you're watching Newsbreak. It's the beginning of the cold and flu season, and if you haven't gotten your flu shot yet, you may want to consider getting it after seeing where these germs are lurking. Anna Bentz tells us where the germs are.
As our campus enters the winter months, students begin to flock to the library, but the more crowded it becomes, the more we have to watch out for cold and flu. But what exactly should students be looking out for? Naina Phadnis of the biology department teaches a course on just what it is we encounter on a daily basis.
On the first day of lab, we're trying to show the students that bacteria, or germs as people call it, are everywhere. And they're not necessarily bad, actually many of them are good for us. And when students come into the lab, they take a swab and they swab surfaces which they consider are gross, for example. So they'll swab the keyboard, they'll swab the tables, they'll swab their cell phones or themselves. And we often find a wide variety of bacteria that grow on it.
Naina finds that most of the bacteria living on the surfaces, such as in the library, are about the same, meaning that these bacteria are common to our environment. But don't freak out just yet. The flu virus itself only occurs inside our cells when exposed to those who carry the virus.
In any environment where you are coming in contact with many people, you are susceptible to getting an infection from them. So it could be the train, it could be the bus, it could be the library, or it could be your whole classroom where you come into, and especially college campuses are notorious for that. And so what you want to do is protect yourself, which is vaccinate. If you touch a surface which you think could have somebody who had a cold or a flu and came and touched that keyboard, yes, fomite transfer can occur sometimes, so wash your hands, simple as that.
With help from Naina and her students, we swabbed under their shoes, a cell phone, and a drinking fountain at the library, and found that most bacteria that grew in the environment are similar to those that are in our environment of that in the library. So as finals come, make sure to stay on top of your health, prevent such bacteria from turning into something worse, like the cold and flu virus. For more information on how to stay healthy, you can contact the Student Health Services at 801-581-6431. Live in studio, I'm Anna Bentz.
If you were to get sick today, would you be able to pay for your health care? That's one of the big questions facing students today. Brittni Strickland has details about student health insurance options.
A piece of the healthcare reform called the individual mandate requires an individual to have at least some form of minimal health coverage. It also provides credits for low-income families to purchase health coverage and penalties for individuals that do not have health coverage. After being approached by a community advocate, Wendy Poppleton, Director of Benefits, says that the U's Human Resources Department decided that it would be beneficial to hold educational sessions for students to learn more about health coverage.
We've partnered with Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield and Arch's Health Plan to try and provide these educational sessions. And at that session, they'll go through the penalties and how individuals will be required to pay them when they file their taxes for 2015. They'll also go through the credits and how you go about getting the credits. And they'll show you how to look online to find the health plans that are available and kind of shop around to find the health plan that's best for you.
After open enrollment for the online marketplace begins on November 15th, there will be 2 benefit fairs to help students register for health coverage.
There are 2 benefit fairs on November 17th and December 10th. Both of those will be at the Union Building as well. And we've invited all 6 of the vendors who provide health plans on the marketplace for the state of Utah to attend. And so we should have people from each of those companies attending that they'll be able to talk to individuals about their plans, help them compare the plans, and help them get enrolled right then at the fair if they want to.
To learn more about health insurance and how to avoid paying those fees, make sure you attend the educational session on November 13th at 1 p.m. in the Union Ballrooms. Reporting for Newsbreak, I'm Brittni Strickland.
Musical street performing, also known as busking, has become a new on-campus movement. Lorna Balfour met with the pioneer of the trend.
Adam Ebling, the shy, reserved University of Utah student, has often been spotted around campus playing his violin. I sat down with Adam to chat about his newfound busking hobby and how he found the courage to play in public.
The honest answer is I still don't have the courage to play in public, but I do anyway. And it's always like a little bit nerve-wracking trying to work up to, okay, am I going to play today? Getting out my violin, getting my case open. And some days I choose not to do that because I don't feel like I can, but other days I do. And what makes the days I do different from the days I don't, I can't really say, but that's part of why I like it, because I know that whenever I play, I'm doing it because I know I'm comfortable with it.
Adam has always been reserved, but playing his violin in public by busking has helped him to come out of his shell.
It was a challenge for myself I could set myself up to and reach. That like, if I finally get the courage to do this, that's a milestone that I can say, in college, I did this thing. I finally got up the courage to play in public. And I've always been sort of shy, unconfident in myself, and I always try to challenge myself in that, try to push my limits. Like I joined the debate team, I played in the orchestra, and now I do busking. So it's about pushing the limits, I suppose, of what you think you can do. Trying to do just a little more than you think you can. Trying to take that extra little step that's just maybe a little uncomfortable, but not totally out of your reach. Because that's where you find out like how much you can actually do. And even if you fail spectacularly, and I know this a lot, I've failed spectacularly many, many times. Even if you do, at least you can say that you tried. And that's honestly a much better feeling than the feeling of, what if I did do that?
He says he'll continue to busk because of the effect it has on others and how it continues to brighten their day.
It's nice seeing that effect I can have on someone else to brighten someone else's day.
Now, Adam doesn't have a set schedule of when he plays, but if you keep an eye out for him, you might be able to find him playing around campus.
After the break, dance department student Marty Buhler is in studio today for an exclusive preview to the dance showcase going on next week. That's what's coming up next on Newsbreak.
Is it your lifelong dream to be a media mogul? Do you see yourself as a news anchor or working behind the scenes in video production, even as a journalist? Look no further and see what the communication department can do for you. Get creative and get inspired by taking classes like video production, Newsbreak, TV journalism, photography, and many more classes to prepare you for a rewarding career in media. Go online to communication.utah.edu, check out the courses, and start following your dreams.
An earthquake or other natural disaster could happen at any time in Utah, and emergency response teams on campus are making sure they're prepared. Erin Barton has the details.
The University of Utah held an emergency earthquake preparedness drill which simulated what would happen in the aftermath of an earthquake here on campus. Marty Shaub explains why it is important for students and faculty to be earthquake ready.
We live on a fault line and that we have plans for how to respond appropriately after an earthquake to survive. All of our buildings on campus are built to what they call a life safety code, which allows for us as occupants, after we drop cover and hold, to get out of a building without the building falling down around us. So the minimum performance for our buildings is that they won't come crashing down around us after an earth movement.
Shaub believes that in a large earthquake, road destruction will be severe and cause people to be stranded on campus.
If you can't walk there from here, you might be here for up to a couple of days.
University employee Todd Justison played the role of incident commander in the drill and tells one important way we can be prepared in case of an emergency.
Number one is the preparedness. It's always about the preparedness. Did they have gloves? Did they have hats? Did they have clothing that covers them for the cold elements? And if it was during the summer, would they have elements like sunscreen? Would they have the stuff to keep them from dehydrated? So I'd always say have a proper emergency preparedness kit ready to go, that you know where it's at and you can grab it quickly as you go out the door.
For more tips and information on how you can be prepared in case of an emergency, visit our website. This is Erin Barton reporting for Newsbreak.
Hi, I'm in studio with Marty Buhler, and he's going to tell us just about some stuff that's going on campus with the performances for the dance department.
So this weekend, Thursday, November 13th, we have a showing at 5:30, and then Friday and Saturday we have at 7:30, and it's a student concert.
Great. All right, take it away.